A lot of people have asked me why I took up nursing for college. Until now, I still get asked that question a lot. And some of you even ask me, why didn't you take a communications course? Like, why didn't you take Mass Comm in Ateneo or in UP? Because, they think I do pretty well with that because, as you can see, I like talking a lot. But, that's exactly my point. Why would I take a 4-year course in something that I do believe God has already blessed me with? So even though I could have gone to Ateneo or UP Diliman because I did pass both entrance exams, aside from the entrance exam at UST, I do admit that there are times when I think about it, like how different my life would have turned out, how much of a different person I would have turned out to be. But despite all that, I have no regrets that I took up nursing. Here's why. Best uniform ever! Alam mo, isa yun sa mga pinaka hindi ko maintindihan actually eh. Yung mga klase ko, sobrang atatatanggalin yung ID strap nila paglabas ng campus. Tapos syempre, kailangan ko pa sa kanila i-remind, hindi nyo ba alam na yan lang ang identifier natin na hindi tayo yaya? But after a while, I realized na the yaya vibe is all in my head. Oh, ito uniform namin. Just look at these fancy sleeves. Yeah, with the fishnet effect. Yes, I feel like I'm Lady Gaga. Let's have some fun. This man is sick. I wanna take a ride on your sphygmomanometer. No? Di bagay? Yeah, kaya walang kanta tungkol sa nurses eh. Feel this cloth. Feel it. Feel it. Oh, yes, pleasurable. The moment this cloth touches my skin at 5 a.m. in the morning, I just know deep in my heart na hindi kagad tutuyo pawis ko later on. Tapos syempre, pag nagpasukan ka ng uniform mo ng freshman year, alam mo yon, technically, that is your set of uniforms. Ako personally, I didn't have another set of uniforms like tailored again, so I stuck with just the same 4 pieces of uniform and that's it. So this one, actually, I have to show you the amazing belt feature of our uniform. Yes, do you see that? Do you see the belt feature? It encourages you to maintain your freshman waistline. Yes, commitment yan. Tapos syempre, ang mga nurses dapat adjustable. So yung uniform namin adjustable din. If you've had a lot to eat for lunch, all you have to do is just unhook it. Most likely naman yung class mo pagkatapos ay matagal eh. So, matagal kang medyo nakaupo ka na sa chair mo, lounge, umutok. See, you can just lounge like a boss. Just upuan mo habang nag-meets ka dyan. Habang mga babae kinain mo, lounge like a fat boss. I personally think that male student nurses are deprived of the full experience of the nursing uniform. On duty at the ward, us girls wear 5 layers of clothing. You have your bra and panty, your chimis, your stockings, your uniform, and your apron. Oh, and by the way, I forgot, we have a 6th layer, your pawis. Time flies when you're in a really long lecture. Like, I think back in 2nd year, we had fundamentals of nursing for 4 straight hours. And our professor would only give us like 2 5 to 10 minute breaks for our bladder. So fun talaga. Grabe ang saya-saya. Actually, from having a 4-hour class, dun mo talaga may realize kung gaano ka-critical ang pag-turn ng patient na comatose every 2 hours. Actually, exciting nga kasi parang living on the edge ka. Parang like thrilling kasi pwede kang magka-pressure ulcer sa upuan mo eh. Like after that 4-hour class and she dismissed us, when I got home, I checked my ass and woo, grabe, rosy cheeks. And if you're not like in the medical field, you probably don't know that redness is the first sign of a beginning pressure ulcer. So I'm not gonna get into that. Basta mapula yung puwet ko nun. Actually, thanks to the long lectures of nursing, I have learned to fully utilize my bangs. Alam ko sinasabi nila sobrang hassle magka-bangs pag nursing. Actually, there was a point na I actually really grew out my bangs. Kasi wala na akong bangs. I will tell you, especially if you have the full bangs, and I did have the full set of fringe bangs at one point in college, sobrang useful siya, especially if you have that nga. So, assuming these are my bangs. Step 1 is look down. Kung ikaw yung teacher, hindi mo na nakikita yung mata ko. Step 2 is to rest your chin on your non-writing hand. Step 3, take a pen, put it on your notebook. Kahit hindi nga nakatanggal yung takip eh, mag-notes ka. Kunwari. And then step 4, you sleep. Believe it or not, I can actually keep that up for about 5 minutes. And 5 minutes of sleep in class is just precious, okay? Because you hardly get enough sleep in nursing. Pero sasabihin ko sa inyo na there are times in nursing na parang time stops. Before, I was assigned to the operating room. So, by 6 a.m. nasa school na ako. So, wala pang araw nun. So, mag-operating room ako, charvanescence. Tapos paglabas ko, wala na ring araw. So, parang like, anyari. You get to learn how to adjust to all kinds of people in nursing. Of course, I had a lot of these because syempre, Tan yung last name ko. So therefore, lahat ng ka-group ko and number 12 in the group, almost all of my group mates, Tan din kami. And unlike me, I am a fake Chinese. Sila, pure Chinese plus grade conscious. Yung tipong yung score mo sa isang test pasang awa, tapos sila, -1, kill me now. Kung hepa choy ni how ma, I like the color red. That one terror clinical instructor na kapag nakikita mo siya sa corridor, kahit malayo pa siya, parang nafe-feel mo na parang nagfa-flashback ka na sa buhay mo. I want 10 NCPs on all of your assigned patients, handwritten and prioritized due tomorrow. And more often than not, I think every nursing student has had a patient na merong paranoid na bantay. Ano yung ginagawa mo? Ma'am, BP lang po. The doctor/bully who looks at you and sees you as an insect. Before I had a patient, she was 18 years old and then she had dengue. So malamang, it should call your attention if her blood pressure is 90/60, right? So I go up to the doctor and I tell her, Doc, yung BP po ng pasyente, 90/60. And then you know what she tells me? So, I have a 1-year-old child whose BP is 90/60. What do you want me to do with your assessment? Okay, woman, unang-una, baby yung pinag-uusapan mo, so wala akong pakialam sa BP niya. BP niya yun. Ito, 18 years old at may dengue. Huh? You also learn how to adapt to the super sungit staff nurse na sobrang mahirap kausap. Ma'am, si Mr. Cruz po, nagtatanong po kung anong oras po yung schedule po niyang CT scan. Tinawag ko na yon. Okay po. So anong oras po sabihin ko sa kanya? Tanungin mo ako mamaya. Bakit? One question at a time ba? When your only break in a 10-hour school day is lunch, you know how best to make use of it. So syempre, alam mo naman ang buhay nursing student. Almost every day, hindi pala almost every day. Every day may quiz or may reporting. The normal and good thing to do would be to have a working lunch. You eat and you review at the same time. Pero most of the time, sort of mga 8 out of 10 times, you find me doing this. Wag na mag-aaral! Kasi sa totoo lang, you have to accept in nursing, it's impossible to know everything. Or you can do what I do, which is like I study like the bare minimum at home, and then when I get to school during lunch, I join the circle that the smart people form in class, and then they review each other, they ask each other questions that might come up in the test, and then I sit there and I listen. And then sometimes during that small review session, I ask questions that, I need clarification for, and then you know what, yun pa yung mga lumalabas sa quiz. I am a magical unicorn. But if you're the grade conscious Chinese classmate, then I won't argue with you anymore. For you guys, posible talaga na memorize mo lahat ng nasa MS book mo. So sige, sunugin mo na yung kilay mo. Pwede bang pakisunugan nyo sa akin? And I just felt like I had to share this one with you guys, and I saved this one for the last because it's the one that really matters to me. When a super sakit sa ulo alagaan patient or his family thanks you at the end of it all. During my last year in college, the average of our patient assignments were like 2 to 3 patients per student. But of course, if you're assigned to a critical care patient or someone who needs like a lot of attention, of course you only have like one patient, and then the other patient is like leaving in 5 minutes. So this was a whole week that I had one patient, and that patient had GBS or Guillain-Barré syndrome. If you don't know what GBS is or Guillain-Barré syndrome, basically it's ascending paralysis. So he practically can't move, but he can move his arms very vaguely, he just thrash them around like this. He can't talk and he can't really swallow. So every 15 minutes his colic would go off because he would need suctioning of his saliva because he can't swallow and it would just dribble on his cheek. Every time I come in the room, the caretaker is just lounging on the couch, talking on his telephone to God knows who, and then the patient is just there, being ignored whenever he would tell the caretaker to, suction his saliva to help him move, change positions because apparently he's been lying on his arm for the past hour or something like that. Point is, naging challenge siya to take care of that patient, especially hindi tumutulong talaga yung caretaker. So after that week that I took care of him, it was also our last day in that specific area or in that specific ward. I went to his room and I said my goodbyes. While I was saying goodbye, he was gesturing this. And I didn't know what this meant. Sir, suction po? No? Okay, change position? No? Okay, so I kept on thinking what he could be gesturing for, and then you know what? He took the opportunity to really raise up his hand and grab mine, and he shook my hand, and that to me just it felt awesome. He was mouthing thank you. While he was struggling to shake my hand in his paralyzed condition, he was saying thank you. And at that moment, during my last year, that was the moment that I was really absolutely 100% sure that I made the right choice when I chose nursing. I want that career. I want a career that is actually rewarded by moments like that. Okay, too serious. Moving on. And when I actually came up with the idea to do this vlog, I put a status in my Facebook page asking nursing students or registered nurses now to share with me one of their most memorable experiences in the field of nursing. And I'm gonna share it with you guys. The first one is from Maita Santiago. She said, I almost fainted during my OR rotation. I'm fine with major surgeries. Seeing blood and gore does not bother me, as long as it does not involve any bone chipping noises. I was standing close to the surgery procedure when the surgeon started chipping on bone. I literally felt my knees weaken and I could see myself slowly descending to the floor. Okay, the second one that I picked out is from Jumer. Am I saying your name right? Because I really feel like it's so exotic, Jumer Adalin. I remember a classmate during his recitation of Meds Award, or like I said a while ago, it's called drug analysis. The CI asked him about super infection. So he spent hours of finding the meaning until it was almost the end of the shift that he went back to my CI and answered it. Sinagot ba naman niya ng, Ma'am, super infection yung super duper na infection na di na kayang gamutin. Anong school mo, Jumer? From Oxy Makadangdang, during my volunteer days, a woman was admitted with a complaint of epigastric pain. Kasi ba naman si pasyente lumunok ng maraming buto ng santol? Ilan? 67 lang naman. Okay, so who else has something to share? If you're a nursing student or if you're a registered nurse now, go ahead and comment down below if you have another memorable experience. I love reading about this stuff. But if you're just someone who is like not in the medical field or in healthcare, then I would love to hear about the funny experiences that you have or memorable experiences that you have when you availed of like clinic services or hospital services, something like that. I would love to read about it. This video has gone on too long. I think I've said that line in another video also that I believe has gone on too long. Therefore, I will end this video right now. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah, mwah, mwah.